Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Whew. It has been an awesome morning. I hope your morning has been so awesome. Welcome to Success Saturday with Lakisha. For those of you who are clicking on, you may say, it was something a little different today. Yes, I actually changed the name of my YouTube channel from Defeating Diabetes to Success My Way with Lakisha. And the reason why I changed it is because I talk about the full totality of life because I'm a success coach. So I was like, you know what? I just need to stay true to what I really do and make the channel kind of give people an idea of what I'm doing on the channel. So it doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking about diabetes. I'm still going to be talking about diabetes. I'm still going to be talking about my health, fitness, and a plethora of other life interesting life topics. So that's why I changed the title of this channel to Success My Way with Lakisha. I also changed the Facebook group. I made the Facebook group the same exact name, Success My Way with Lakisha. So those are the new things. Good morning, Trika. Good to see you. I have a special guest coming on today. I'm so excited. I'm waiting for him to join. Let me see if he texted me. Let me make sure I have sent, because I thought I sent him the link. But let me just make sure. How's everybody doing out there today on this wonderful Saturday? Talk to me. Are you feeling good, sad, angry, mad? Tell me how you feeling out there. I'm looking to see if. Oh, he said he's on. So why don't I see him? I don't see you. Did you click the link I sent in Messenger? Oh, you can hear me. Are you in the chat? Why I don't see your face? Do you have your camera on? I'm sorry, I'm talking to Pastor Anthony. He's trying to get on here. Okay, let me just. I should see you in the back. I should see you and I don't. Hi, everybody. Okay, Pastor Anthony, I see you're in the chat. You just click on the link. Did you click on the link? All right, let me see if I can send you the link again, okay? Here's the link. All right, I want to send you the link again. I'm sending it in Messenger. I sent it again. Try the second link I just sent, because I should see you in the back. Hey, everybody. Good morning, Tori. Good morning, Kim. Hi, Marva. Mama Michelle, welcome back. My tribe is here. How y'all doing? Okay. So, hi, Erica. Erica said you're a bit tired, but you're resting today. I'm so glad you're resting. Tori, feeling good. Looking forward to 75 degrees. It's 75 degrees in Texas. Oh, wow, Tori. I wish I was there. It's going to be nice today, too. They say it's going to be like in the 60s, but it's going to quickly turn and be super cold tomorrow with some snow. You didn't receive anything new. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. It's in your messenger. I'm in your messenger. Am I sending this to the right Anthony Johnson? I hope I'm sending it to your right Facebook. Nope. I think I was sending it somewhere else. Okay, I'm sending it to this. I was sending it to the wrong. I don't know who else got this. I hope they don't come on. I think I sent it to the right one now. Click the one I just sent, Anthony. I think I sent it to the wrong one. A.B. Johnson. Yeah, I didn't send it to that one. I sent it to Anthony Johnson. So A.B. Johnson, I just sent it just now. So try that one. Oh, so we are excited today. We are talking about love. Valentine's Day is on what? Monday? Y'all see I got my Valentine's Day colors on. I got the pinks on and stuff, and then I got the little red, It's the time of love. So I'm waiting on Pastor Johnson to come on. He is a friend of mine. He is so amazing. He is, I don't even know how long he's been a counselor, but he is a beautiful person. He's been married. He has 2 children. He's been married a very long time. I don't know, Anthony, like 20 years. I don't even know how long you've been married. But his wife is my soror. He's also an alpha and just good stuff. So we're just waiting for him to come on. Hopefully he can click on now that I sent the link to the right Facebook. Good morning, Joan. How are you? Let's do some housekeeping really quickly. I'm very excited. I am so excited. Y'all, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I have the new date for Success My Way Academy. So if you have never joined Success My Way Academy, or if you have joined and you want to join again, because I do have some people that like it that much, they come back. Good morning, Nicole. You can join. Okay, I see you. You see me? I see you in the back. He's here. All right, I'm going to let you up in a minute, okay? All right. So Success My Way Academy is starting. Get your calendars out, y'all. Get your calendars out. April 16th. So April 16th, we will begin cohort 7. Y'all, I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed that I have been doing this for almost 7 cohorts. I'm in cohort 6 now, and then cohort 7. So will you be part of cohort 7? Huh? Will you? Will you? Will you? I would love for you to be a part of Success My Way Academy. It is a life coaching academy. It is an academy that helps you plan your life and helps you get to know yourself a little better so you can stay focused and get focused and move from dreaming about doing something to actually doing it. So I call it a Dream to Destiny course. So I'm so excited to announce that April 16th, we will start with Success My Way Academy. The cost is $50 a week, so it's $300. But y'all, let me tell you something. For $50 a week, that's a steal. Because let me tell you what you get. You get 6 lessons on the computer that you can watch anytime. It's me talking. You get 3 one-on-one life coaching sessions, which are worth $150 a piece, just the one-on-one life coaching sessions alone. Okay. You also get to join a fabulous group of people. I have had so many people go through Success My Way Academy who have became friends, and they're still friends even after they stop being in the academy. It's a fantastic way to network and get out of your comfort zone, especially in this pandemic. And then there's plenty of other stuff. You get a lot of resources. I mean, it is an amazing experience. 6 weeks out of your entire life to focus on yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. So April 16th, everybody. Somebody, one of my admin, please put that in the chat. Success My Way Academy will start April 16th. If you're interested, go down in the description below and click on the link and you'll see registration. I already updated it for you. So if you want to register now, you can. Remember, seats are limited because this is a small group. It is not a big group. So seats are limited. So if you're thinking about joining Success My Way Academy, now you can. All right. Thank you, everybody, for that. Now I'm ready to bring Pastor Johnson up. And let me see if I can add him. Can you see yourself?
I can see me.
Yay! You're a little blurry. You're a little blurry. I don't know. That might be your Wi-Fi.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah. Can you wipe? That's what I have to do. I have to wipe my. Yeah. That's a little better. How are you, TJ?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.
Sorry about that little hiccup. But getting
Oh,
on.
that's okay. That was my fault because I hope the other person, whoever I sent it to, don't come on because I sent it to the wrong one.
They might have something to say.
Nah, not today.
Yeah, I don't go by my real name because there are so many other Anthony Johnsons. I
I
mean,
saw that. I saw that, and
yeah,
I thought it was you. So somebody looked like you too. You got avatar.
yeah, I know they're
Right.
all over the place.
Hi, Mary. Welcome. Hi, Kat. Welcome. All right, my tribe is here. All right, so Pastor Anthony, can you just break down a little bit about you? I mean, everybody's excited to talk to you about love. I told everybody to come with their questions. Y'all think about y'all questions while he's introducing himself, okay? We come with questions. It's Valentine's Day. It's the time of love, and we need some help from a professional. That's why I got you on here. You know what I'm saying? So, us married people need help, and our single people need help, and people who are neither married nor single need help too. I don't even know what that is. But just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Of course, like she said, I'm Anthony Johnson. I hail from Delaware. I'm all the way from Delaware, from the country. But I've been here. But I've been here in Maryland for over 20 years now. So I guess this is home. I live in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I'm a teacher by profession. I am a pastor. I don't like to tell everybody, but I am a pastor. I'm married with 2 children.
How long have you been married? Because I couldn't say how long, but I knew it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
20 years. Oh, I was right. I said that. Okay.
Well, it's actually 16. We're getting close. We've been together for, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, 2005 was it.
Okay, that's good.
2005. We renewed our vows this year, so
Aww.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about your new venture. You have a new venture.
Yeah. So it's your fault, and it's Nicole's fault. Hey, Nicole.
You see it from a tag team.
So I've been a wedding officiant for many years. I love doing weddings, but it wasn't until this year that I actually made it official and got my LLC. So I'm really excited about that as well. Thank you. Working from home has been a blessing because I actually applied to be a certified counselor, and I just received my credentials in the mail a week and a half ago or so.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
I'm with the American Association of Christian Counselors.
Make sure you frame it and put it behind you with your alpha stuff back there. Oh, you already did it. I see it. Yes. See, that's why you're my friend. That's why you're my friend. We be here. Right.
I already did that. Yes. Got to make it official.
That's awesome. So what's the name of your new business?
It's called the Ministry for You LLC. So I was already a long time ago when I was doing more music, I was calling it Ministry for You. And when I went to get my website built, I don't know if there was an issue with the name or something, so we started calling it the Ministry for You.
Okay.
Now I just put LLC on the end, the Ministry for You LLC.
Yeah. And what you specialize? Do you when you say the ministry for you, like what is actually you have a specialty or you general practitioner? What is
so in general, I enjoy doing weddings and whatever comes along with doing a wedding. That's me. So wedding officiant is me.
And you
if I need to do counseling,
you officiate weddings all over the country, not just in Maryland, right? Y'all hear that?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I'm looking to go further. So far, my weddings have been in Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and I have so many, ironically, that I've done in Virginia. I'm registered in DC, but I've never done one in DC. And I'm looking to go further. I enjoy it. So it doesn't feel like work. And I think that's the key to us having careers and things. When we can have a job or a career that doesn't feel like work,
that's the sweet
you're in the right thing. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That is so great. All right, so we got some questions for you, Pastor Anthony, because you know what I'm saying, we want to know about love. So we have a beautiful tribe here, and some people are single, some people are married, but according to you as a counselor, like what are some of the things, like constant themes you see in relationships in general that is like always a pain point? Because I think when you talk from what you've seen, you will hit on what our audience needs to hear. So what have you seen as like pain points in love?
Okay, let me
And
put
please
out this
put y'all
disclaimer
questions
first.
in the chat. Put y'all questions in the chat because I don't want to be the only one asking questions. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me put out this disclaimer first. I have not arrived. I'm still learning, just like the next. So don't think that I am above the law and that I know everything, because my wife will probably be somewhere like, "What the heck is he talking about?" Don't let me step on my own toes. Um, One of the pain points I often come in contact with is communication in relationships. Communication is challenging. You've heard books and things, men are from Mars, women are
Lots
from
of women from
Venus, and all
Venus.
that, right? So, not saying that any of us are aliens, but we do communicate differently. And that goes from person to person, just not male to female. And, so it's no different in love. We have to figure out what our partner's love languages are. Um, and I think the most challenging thing for me personally is that not just in a romantic relationship, but in relationships, period, um, love languages are different. My love language is going to be different than someone else's love language. And so I can't always communicate in my preference. I have to sometimes cater to other people. My top love language will be somebody else's least love language. So I have to learn um, how to turn on a dime, how to be flexible with it. But communication, I think, is the biggest challenge in all relationships.
Wow. And what is some advice that you have given in the area of communication that like works?
Mm-hmm.
Like what have you seen worked? I know like you just talked about the love languages, what you give the other person their love language, not your love language. You give them theirs, which it does require someone to, feel like they feel okay with compromise or sacrifice or however they feel to be able to give the other person their love language.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ideas you give people when they're struggling with communication? Good morning,
Um,
Amy. Good morning, Big G.
so the big thing in this arena is that there's no cookie cutter way. Like you have to kind of figure out what works. I know for me and my wife early on, we had journals. First of all, we were distant.
Really?
I was actually here in Maryland, and she was in Delaware. So we
Oh,
had journals that we wrote in, and then we would swap. Like so, when we met, I would take her journal, she would take mine, and we just kept that going. Um,
well,
so
no, pause on that one right there. That's we need to sum with the journals because I ain't never do that with my husband. I've been married about 24 years.
well, I don't do it anymore. So
But
again,
but
don't look, Shawanda.
but that's a tactic that I think a lot of married people don't have. Like, I never even thought of that. Like, you may think it's simple because you all did it, but
Mhm.
I don't know any other married couples who doing that journal thing. That seems like it was pretty powerful. Like, how did it work out?
So for me, I'm gonna say it worked for both of us, but it catered to me because I'm a record keeper. I like to write down things. I like to write down the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm an advocate for writing down the things that are bad, but not necessarily talking about it in the heat of the moment because the conversation oftentimes ends up being emotional. So for us to write those things down and to read it at another time when you're cool and collected and calm, it kind of goes across a little bit better. So we wrote down things often. I mean, it would be poems, romantic stuff. It would be, this is how I feel or this is what I want to do. And also, sometimes you forget things. So you're not, we work, we're busy, we're in, things of life come about. So whenever you have a chance, you just write in that journal, turn it over and give it to the other person.
I just so love that. I think for Valentine's Day, I'm gonna buy me and my husband some journals.
Now make
Because
sure you size it up for him. Size it up for him. You got to figure out how it's going to work for him because you don't want to
I
give it to him
already
and be
know
like,
that.
"Cool."
I already know how it's gonna work. I figured that later. But anyway,
Don't talk about my boy, my guy.
I know he's
Oh, by
awesome.
the way, make sure you tell him I dressed for him today.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that time when we were teaching? He came by the classroom and asked me if I had on the tablecloth.
My husband is hilarious, y'all. I gotta get him on here one day, just like this, interviewing my husband. That is a funny dude.
Oh
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. All
Sorry,
right.
y'all.
All right. Any other tactics or tools for communication? Since this is a big one, I know you got some more. Some more.
Oh yeah. I mean, so communication is big. Like I touched on, making sure that you. I don't want to say this is a woman man thing, male versus female thing, but I know for me and my wife is one that likes to talk in the moment, like talk right then and there. I don't like to talk in the moment because I feel like I'm talking out of anger, emotion, or whatever is going on. Whereas if I can have that moment, have a moment to digest what's really going on and process it, I can come back to it and express myself in a much better way. So I think learning how to compromise and put the other person first
Yeah.
helps in any relationship. I mean, in communication, but just in anything, period. I mean, in love languages, just being able to put that other person first and trust that your needs will be taken care of as well is key.
Yeah. And I think getting somebody like you, like a certified Christian counselor or just like a marriage counselor, is a really good intervention to understand communication. Like I remember a long time ago when me and my husband, we would have really bad arguments, and we ended up going to a counselor, and the counselor said that when we're arguing, we're in competition with each other. And we
Mhm.
didn't even know. Like we didn't even know. We just knew that I knew I wasn't getting heard. He felt like he wasn't getting heard. That's all we knew.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
to be able to analyze the way you communicate, I think that's very powerful for.
and yeah, knowing you and knowing your partner, I think that's important. I'm not a big talker. Um, I'm not very aggressive, So when her and I are together and we're in the heat of a moment, I'll kind of just sit back and listen and take in what she's saying. And I know early on in the relationship, that was a trigger for her because she thought that I wasn't engaged, I didn't
Yeah,
care. But that's
yeah,
not the case at all. It's just I don't want to give off just some old lame answer or response to what you're saying and it not really be a true testament of what I think or how I feel. So just knowing your other person is really big. Like being able to not compete with each other. Like again, I'm not the most confrontational. I think that's I'm not very
yeah.
confrontational. So my communication may be writing it in that journal. My communication may be texting it. My communication may be, saying it at a later time when I'm calm. But just because I don't give a response in that moment, it doesn't mean that I don't care.
And your wife as an oral processor, because it seems like she likes to process verbally, you like to
Mhm,
process in text.
mhm,
How has she learned how to respect that? Because I've encountered in my life coaching, like when I coached couples before,
mhm,
that sometimes the person with the most overt style of communication does not respect
mhm.
the other person's covert style of communication. So how does that work out?
She's good. Like I think I'm a handful. I'm a handful. So I think she is really good because she has definitely compromised. I mean, early on, I don't think I knew, nor did she know how we were communicating. We did premarital counseling, and I do recall our pastor at the time talking to us about how our communication styles were different. But I don't think we truly understood it at that moment. But as
Mhm.
we've gotten older, we definitely have seen issues arise. And I mean, we have gone through counseling as well. I think that everybody needs to realize that no matter how Christian you are, how saved you are, how
That's right.
professional you are, you still need help. A doctor still has to go to their doctor. So my wife and I have gone through counseling, and I'm not saying that we're finished, but we learned about ourselves and our communication or lack thereof, and so we've learned about how we trigger each other, how to take a step back. For me, I know throughout our whole relationship, one of the growths for me is our first pastor in our premarital counseling told me that it's okay to take that time to process, walk away from it, but I have to remember to come back to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to her for me to put it off and then never come back to it, because she's trusting that I'm going to come back to it and we'll hash it out. But a lot of times I would just put it off to the side and just keep it moving and bury it. But of course, it's going to resurface at some point, whether it's through her or through me or subliminally, or it's going to come back up.
Yeah, if you don't deal with it, you have to deal with it. And
Yeah.
Pastor Anthony, your Wi-Fi is messed up a little bit. It was doing great up until that.
Sorry.
Big GH says, agreed. Choice of words and tonality are so important. I need time to process my thoughts. Yeah. And the thing about me with my communication with my husband, like in the beginning, I wanted to say what I wanted to say, and then I just wanted to walk away. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear any explanation. I don't want to hear anything. And the counselor did deal with me on that. Like, as much as you don't want to hear them, or you don't want to hear, or I already know what they're going to say, you know what I'm saying? You still owe it to whoever you're in a relationship with to listen.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my charger as well. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, no,
But I'm here.
Does anybody have any questions for Pastor Anthony? So let's talk about, like, if I'm not in a relationship, like if I'm single, what has been your experience? Have you canceled like single people who are trying to get in a relationship or who are dating? Or I know I encounter a lot of single people who are just fine single.
So I think most of my clients have been people who are currently in a relationship or are kind of struggling or trying to make progress in a relationship they're in, maybe on a rebound kind of. But I've never counseled someone that is just straight all the way single and content with it.
Okay.
It seems like people, unfortunately, a lot of us go to the doctor, go to a counselor, a therapist when there's an issue, not when things are good. So a lot of those singles don't necessarily come to me or seek me out.
Right.
So yeah, that's
So
not been my experience.
tell me about the ones you do encounter. What is the pattern or the request, or what's an issue that you see a lot with your single client?
You're saying single again?
Yeah, single. Uh-huh.
Ask me again, make sure I can.
What are some patterns in issues with love with your single clients?
I think one of the things I see is people not being patient. I am a true advocate of seasons. When it's time for me to be in love, when it's time for me to be in a relationship, that's my time, that's my season. But when it's not my time, there's a lesson that I'm supposed to be learning at that moment. So I need to live in that moment. And I think a lot of singles end up not necessarily living in that moment, not learning lessons that they need to learn as a single person. Like, as a single person, you need to know who you are. You need to know what you bring to the table.
Come on, say that again. Say that again right there. Rewind that right there, because that's in my arena right there. That's what I do. I make sure you stop, because you can't be two halves don't make a whole.
Exactly.
Two wholes
right.
whole. So
that math is not. It's not
you whole. Yeah.
That's not the math we learned in school. Love math is a little bit different. Yeah, and I think that's important. A lot of people think that that they have to, like, basically that other person is going to make them who they are. But no, you should. To me, in a relationship, you should bring stuff to the table. You should know who you are. You should know what your flaws are. You should know what your things of value that you bring, and that way you can work on you and nurture your relationship at the same time. I think that's really important. But unfortunately, like I said, a lot of us are in the single season of our life, but looking for love, and, like people say, in the wrong places, looking for the wrong thing. Whereas if you know yourself, and if you have a relationship with God, it helps it a lot too. You can trust that your person, your other half, unfortunately we say, is coming. And they're out there doing the same thing as you. They're learning themselves and they're growing and maturing, so that when they come to the table, they have all that they need.
That's right. You're getting some response on this, Pastor Johnson. So, um, oh, we have a question actually. Erica's asking if your partner is reluctant or heavily avoids the idea of counseling, what are some steps or what should you do? That's a great question.
Um, that's real. um, if in fact your person is not going to do counseling, um, I would definitely encourage that you and that person do some studies, some reading. I mean, and if your person's not going to take the time to read, watch movies and kind of subtly put it in there. Like there are great movies that I use in
Oh
my
my gosh,
curriculum.
fireproof. Okay,
That's where I was going.
let me tell you
That's
about
exactly,
fireproof.
that's
My
exactly what I was
husband,
talking about.
oh my gosh, my husband, we had counseling like years before Fireproof came out, right?
Mhm.
So when Fireproof came out, I watched it by myself and I was like, I need my husband to watch this. And it took me like 3 weeks to get him to watch it, but I found the opportune time and we ended up watching Fireproof and we got such a great conversation that really shifted some things in our marriage from watching the movie. So you're absolutely right.
So
Watch
that's my go-to.
the movie.
Fireproof is definitely my go-to. And they have a book, they have the DVD and movie, they have workbooks. So I've used it personally, and I've used it with my couples. I mean, and that for my couples, I use that as like a date night. It doesn't feel like an assignment. The assignment is afterwards, watching how we respond to it. But it doesn't necessarily feel like it's an assignment in that moment.
Yeah, because you're just watching a movie. That's
Yep.
so good. That's such good advice. If your spouse doesn't want to go to counseling, start with a movie. And if you're married, Fireproof. I approve of Fireproof because that is, I still watch that movie. I'll be watching it by myself too. It's just a bomb movie. I just love it. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
Good
really
morning.
good.
Good morning, Lee. She said, I agree. Great advice. Trika says, so true. Big GH says, when I was single, I wanted to be in love when I wanted it.
Mhm.
Now, when it was time for me to share my, not when it was time for me to share my love. So she's saying that there is a time for you to share your love, and she was trying to rush it.
Mhm.
And then Trika said, speak.
Mhm.
So what are some tools should you give single people who are in the dating realm? Like, what should they be looking for? What shouldn't they tolerate? I know when I coach a lot of single people, and the first thing I ask them is like, walk me through a date that you've gone on. And
Mhm.
then I say, well, what were your expectations? And usually they don't have any. So
Mhm.
that's when I usually start. But you tell me, Pastor Johnson, like, what do you do? If you're
Well, one
single,
thing,
you
one
ready to mingle.
thing that say it again. I'm sorry.
I say, if you're single and you're ready to mingle, what do you do?
Um, I like that word better. Single and ready to mingle. Mingle is much better than dating for me. Dating
Okay.
sounds like trying on clothes,
Oh,
and I don't think that that's the way we should be treating relationships. I think that should, if we do our single, if we do our single season properly, and you know what you bring to the table, and you kind of know what you're looking for, dating won't be as bad. But I feel like dating, like people just date like they put on underwear, or date like they putting on a coat, just or a hat, just from this person to this person to this person. And the danger with that is you get baggage from every single relationship you've been in. Like typically, you don't leave a relationship because it was good. Typically you leave a relationship because something negative happened. So when you leave relationship one and go to relationship two, you're bringing some of relationship one with you, trauma or whatever. Then when you go to relationship three, you're bringing stuff from one and two. Four, you're bringing stuff from one, two, and three. So we
wow.
have to be careful not to let ourselves mingle so much to the point where we're worn out by the time we get to our destiny or get to our man or our woman that is the one. Because then the one is going to be tired from dealing with everybody else's mess. So I feel like again, we need to live in our single time and our single season, learn about ourselves, learn what we want, learn what we need. Like what is something that's priority versus something that isn't really something that is needed for me. And it's not going to look like what my friends or my siblings or my family need. It's going to be what I need. But I think that it's really important that we sit down and evaluate ourselves to know what's important for us.
That is so good because I deal with a lot as a life coach, the difference between men and women and what society says, right? Like society looks, they celebrate men who try on clothes.
Yeah,
Okay. Men are celebrated for trying on the clothes,
it's
but
horrible.
women are called names for trying on the clothes. I ain't gonna say the name on here, but you know what I'm saying. So I
Totally.
encounter singles who say, "Well, I'm gonna be like the man. I'm gonna try on the clothes. I don't care what nobody say." But actually, I always say that a man trying on clothes, I don't care if it's socially acceptable, it's still something wrong with that too. Like, why
It
you got to
is.
try on all these clothes
It
and
is.
layer the clothes?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And you're right. Unfortunately, men do get congratulated for that lifestyle, but it's too dangerous. And again, strongholds and spiritual things, and it's a whole bunch of stuff out there. So it's just not worth it. It's better to save yourself. I forget what we called it when we didn't call it courting. Courting.
Courting.
Have a circle of
That's
friends.
old school. You went old school.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
great grandmother used to be like, "Oh, you courting, baby?"
It's so much better. I'm telling you, because you're friends, and you when you are interested in a friend, you see that friend's realness. You see them in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if that friend is not what you need, you don't even bother to go there. You don't go to the intimacy. You don't go to the dating part. You just kind of let it just vaporize and go where it goes. But you know what I mean? When you're dating, you're in that person's space, you're in that intimate part already, and that's not even a person that you're supposed to be investing in.
Oh, you
You
don't know
know?
how powerful. You don't know how powerful that's what you just said. That's so powerful. It's like if you are single, go into your relationships as friends.
That's it.
And then one of them may develop into dating, but don't just go
But
out and date and date and date and date. Oh, that's so good. I've
but
never
we're
heard
we're
anybody
a
say,
microwave generation. We don't believe in waiting and taking our time. We want to skip over steps. You
come
know what I mean?
on.
We want to go straight from not knowing how to walk and ride a bike with training wheels to we're already driving. And that's not how it works. In relationships, we need to take our time. We need to know ourselves. We need to know them. I mean, is that a good person as a friend? And if they're not a good friend, how can we expect that person become our spouse? Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think about because my husband and I, we've been married for 24 years, been together over 30.
Mhm.
We were high school sweethearts. I've been with my husband since high school, but I can remember us in high school. And uh-oh, I don't know where he went. He just hopped off. He'll come back on. But let me finish telling my story. So my husband and I in high school, we never had a day where we said, "You gonna be my boyfriend and I'm gonna be your girlfriend." Like that never actually happened. Like we were friends. And then it just developed into this beautiful thing. And I never looked at it like that. I didn't date my husband. My husband was my friend. He was becoming my best friend in high school when we decided to become more than just friends. But we've never said, "You be my boyfriend and I'll be your girlfriend." That like never happened. So that was powerful right there. Trika, oh, you had some questions. All right. Hopefully he'll come back on here. I don't know what happened. Um Trika said, example, they don't have. Oh, okay. That's still your. I'm gonna save your question, Trika, for when he comes back on. Someone said, "Amen." Exactly. Some people skip the friendship part. Yeah, that's good. Cause you know what, y'all, it's a lot of like dating apps and um a lot of this stuff where you enter into the relationship. Like, oh, this is him calling me. Hold on. Hi, you're not on the thing anymore. Did you click it?
I'm having some issues. I don't know. Somebody don't want me to be in here today.
Oh man.
My
Okay.
I
You
don't know if because I'm trying to access it from my phone. I can't. My computer's not charging for some reason. I've never had this issue before. That's why
can you click that link from your phone so we I think I can see you if you're on your phone on the link.
It's saying something about how to be on the desktop, but let me try a couple things.
Oh, it is? Okay, wait, let me see. Gmail Messenger. Maybe I can send. Do you have an email?
Yeah, my email, Mr.
Okay,
Anthony Johnson, Mr. Anthony Johnson Jr. at gmail.com. So
Mr. Oh wait, I'm typing in
Anthony
it.
Johnson,
Hold on, slow down. Mr. Anthony
Anthony Johnson,
Johnson
Jr.
Jr.
at gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to your Gmail now.
Okay.
Thank y'all for being patient. We're having some technical difficulties.
I am hang up.
All right, hang up and try to come in from your phone through the email. Okay. All right. All right. Thank y'all for being patient. We have some technical difficulties. I mean, we getting this message across. The devil is alive. We get this message across. Trika said, "Oh my, OMG! I just told my friend he's not a good friend." Oh, interesting. And how do you think we can have a good relationship? You're on it, Trika. That's right. That's right. Like the basis of a relationship should be friendship because how can I say this? Like love can be surfacey. It could be, oh, he's back. I can see you. There you
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. As a teacher, I've taught from here and never had an issue.
That's okay. I'm glad you got a phone though. These phones are the supercomputers. And nobody can say, I love this phone. This phone is a supercomputer. It's better than a regular computer. All right. We have a big question in here from Trika that I wanted to save for you. So I didn't
Oh,
read it. So Trika's single. So Trika said, what if someone wants to rush into a relationship, but you see flaws in the other person, but they can't see it in themselves? What do you do? And she said, for example, they don't have active listening skills and they feel they have it all together, but basically don't. And I know it, but I'm in denial.
oh, don't be in denial. I don't think you're in denial because you see it, but know your worth and know that if you see it now and you're on the outside looking in, when you get in there, you're really gonna see it. I
Mm,
think that's key. Like I feel like God, the universe, gives us warnings, And if I was talking to a couple, actually, one of the couple yesterday, and if you want it and you're willing to put in that work, go for it. Who am I as a therapist or as a counselor to say don't do it? I'm very careful to not. I'm very careful not to tell people to not go for what they want because they're going to resent you. So I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I'm going to say you seeing the signs, and if you can get them to understand, great. But chances are some of that stuff is going to funnel into the relationship. Um, and if you love the way we're supposed to love, you'll be able to love past those flaws. But just don't ignore what you see. Like you might need some help, the other person may need some help. But the reason why you're seeing it is so you can help it now. You can fix it before you get into it, or you can decide that that's too big of a thing and I'm gonna have to go another direction.
that's such great advice. I mean, you are helping us. I'm telling you, Pastor Johnson, you are helping us today. Y'all keep coming with them questions. Y'all got some good questions. He got some good answers. Come on, y'all better hurry up before we run out of time. Okay, put some questions in there. So, Pastor Johnson, I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
What is proper love? As a life coach, I encounter people who have all these different notions. They say they're in love, and I'm like, that's not love. Like, so to you, from your perspective, what is true love? How do we recognize, like, how would a single person recognize if they're falling in love? As a married person, how would I recognize if I'm falling out of love,
Mm-hmm.
right? In my marriage, like, what is love, and can we touch it? Is it tangible? Like, what can
Yeah.
we?
So first, I want to say love is there are different levels of love, different kinds of love, um, and so we need to learn how to love ourselves first and
That's right.
foremost. And I think that we're supposed to learn that in our young years as well as in our um, season of singleness. Learn to love yourself. Learn to have enough love and respect for yourself that you demand love from other people.
Mm,
Then I think we need to just learn how to love. in a general way. The Bible talks about loving your neighbor as yourself and all those things. Like we need to learn how to love each other platonically, or whatever. But before you're in love, then when you have that friendship love and you see it and you like it a lot, and you're like, I could probably go further. That's when you're like, my feelings are changing. I mean, you'll find yourself wanting to do things in a different way, in a deeper way. You'll feel yourself probably going what's called head over heels. What is it?
Head over heels. Yeah.
Things will start to kind of change. I remember when that started to happen for me, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on here? Why am I feeling like this? It's not a bad thing, but realize what you're going through. Realize what you're dealing with. Like, love is a great thing. Love will make you do things, and it's a dangerous thing too, because love
It's
will.
risky. Love is
Yeah,
risky. Yeah.
yeah. You make yourself vulnerable. Love will make you do things that you never thought you would do. Love will allow you to unveil yourself in ways that you've never done before. But that it's risky, like you said. That's what love is, though. Like love is making yourself vulnerable for that other person. So, which is why we should, what's the word, guard it to a degree. It's for a special time. It's for a special person. But I think for us, if we learn how to love early on,
Mhm.
falling in love won't be so hard. You know.
Yeah, like yeah, I agree with that. Like a lot of people in their childhood didn't experience love like they wanted, so they
Mm-hmm.
can't recognize
Mm-hmm.
what real love is in their adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time trying to define what real love looks like and then put that up against the situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not real love, then
Right.
you're gonna have to make some
And
changes.
that's real. Because I was talking to a couple, like I said, yesterday, or the day before, and the young lady was telling me about her to be her fiance, and basically because of his past experience with his family, with his parents, he was looking for the love of a parent in his relationship with his wife,
See?
and then the wife or the fiance to be whatever, she also lost her parents at an early age. So she was looking for someone who would more or less parent her, And so, whereas he had the parents that didn't really do what he wanted them to do, and then she didn't have the parents, they were looking for different types of love, you know?
Wow.
And it becomes dangerous when we're looking for different types of love and we don't realize it, the other person doesn't realize it. And that's why I think it's important that we meet each other as friends, learn each other as friends. If I'm your friend, I'm going to know what your house, what your background and home life was like as a child. I'm going to know what you have dealt with, college, post college, career. I'm going to know the things that you're dealing with. And I'll be able to say, I was stuck by them while they were going through such and such. And now, because of that, it's been training ground for me now that I'm in love with this person. I want to do so much more for them. I want to be there for them. I want to provide this type of love that I know that they need, you know?
I absolutely love that. I hope y'all listen. I hope y'all taking some notes. Y'all know tribe. Y'all know what I say. Y'all better get y'all pen and paper out. I hope y'all taking some notes. For this is some good stuff. This is some good stuff. Um, so it's while you're talking, I'm just thinking about like my relationship with my husband and like how we started off as friends. That's the basis of our relationship is friendship. But what makes me adore him and it's the fact that I know that he loves me. And how do I know that he loves me? That he knows all my stuff, good and bad,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't violate it. He doesn't use it as a weapon against me.
Mm-hmm.
He supports me and he covers me in the areas I need to be covered. Now that's why I know my husband loves me. It's the act of being for a person what you think they need because you love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You love it's not like, "I gotta do this again."
Mm-hmm.
It's not egregious,
Mm-hmm. But you said something. You said he knows you're good, you're bad, you're ugly. He covers you. So, and he doesn't use it against you.
and he doesn't weaponize it and use it
Yeah,
against
like,
you.
and that's what we're talking about when we say Make yourself vulnerable. Like your spouse should know the good, the bad, the ugly. They should see it all. And if they love you enough, they'll still be able to put up with it. They'll love your scars. They'll love your scars. That's your beauty mark. And that's big. If they can't be that, then you don't need them. Like it's gonna be. I mean, first of all, marriage, love, relationship, it's already an uphill battle.
Right. Yes, it's
It's
another
it's, al-
job. You leave
it's
that
already that.
job.
So you don't need to go into it not really wanting to do it. It should not be a chore, is what I'm saying. So yeah, you said some things. You the one that need the mic now. Absolutely.
All right. Any more questions, y'all? Y'all put some more questions. Big GH says this is some good stuff. Trika still talk about that person. She said, I'm not perfect and I saw potential, but now he makes excuses and lies about it. So I just was like, I'm over it. When
And
people show you who they are the first time.
yeah, and the thing is, when you start to see the signs, if you don't think it's gonna work,
Pastor Johnson, now you're back. It's like you're
oh,
choppy.
can you hear me?
I can hear. Oh yeah, hold your phone. Whatever you're doing now, keep it right there because that way you can see.
Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I was saying, you're seeing the signs, and again, if you're for it and you want to make it work, go for it. But you're seeing the real thing, like what I mean. And don't let anybody else tell you what to do because you're the one that's gonna have to put in the work, whether you stay or leave. But love yourself enough to really know. Like I think a lot of us stay in relationships because of history. Um, and that's not enough. History is not enough to stay in a relationship. Instead, we got to know that we're valued and we're going to be valued. That other person's going to value us. But also, again, if he has scars and he has baggage, do you love him and all that he brings along? Or no, you just want what you want, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you want what you want and he can't give it, it's time to move on.
That's right. And I love that you somebody said love your scars, so true. I don't my husband didn't have a scar, but I recall when we were teachers together, Pastor Johnson, I was in my early 20s and my husband drove me crazy with leaving his shoes in the floor. I mean, we would have like such bad argument. I would come in and trip over his big old shoes. And I would be like, why are these shoes in the floor? Like
Mm-hmm.
so mad. And then I went to the funeral of unfortunately Miss Hall's husband passed. But did you
Mm-hmm.
go to her
White,
husband's
yeah.
funeral?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they released the dove and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor came and gave him accommodation and everything. But I saw her and how sad she was that day. And it hurt my heart so bad because she was married for a long time and then he passed away. And just to see the grief on her face, I went home that day from the funeral. I opened up my door and my husband's shoes right there at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally I would be like kicking his shoes and be like, not that day. That day, I picked the shoes up and I moved them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was symbolic for me because
Turning
it
point.
said, yeah, it was a turning point. It was like, how I said, I'd rather move my husband's shoes than to have him buried in a box.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have to have the right perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
can you talk about that too? Like, what is the right perspective we should have in love?
Um, it's simple, picking and choosing your battles. Like, and again, looking at someone else's scar as a beauty mark is big.
Woo! Come on, no, wait, freeze. Hold up. You gotta say that again.
Looking at your other scar as a beauty mark.
Woo! That's
And you
a good
said
one
it,
right
like there
there.
was a turning point. Things were put into perspective at that moment, and that's why I wanted to say to that person that was just talking to us. Don't let anybody else decide for you. Like you decide. It might be horrible for somebody else in your family to have to deal with the stuff you're dealing with, but if you can see past that and love past that, live on, love on, do what you do. It's just your household. It's your house of love. It's your den of love. Like make it that just that. I know for me, I come from a household where things had to be in a certain place all the time, all the time. And
Wow.
so that's what I wanted in my household. It's not like that.
Not with 2 kids. I don't see how
Yeah,
you gonna get that done.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
It's not like that, you know. And so throughout most of our marriage, that was one of my things. Like the bed has to be made this time, it has to be made this way. The shoes go here, your
Yeah.
coat goes here, and I still want those things. Like if you get my vehicle, it's going to look a certain way in comparison to somebody else's. But is it so big that I need to make an argument about it? You know, is it
Come
so
on.
big that I need to bring it up every time I get a chance? No, just like you said, just move those shoes over and keep it moving. If it's a place where I want them to go, just put them where they belong. Because in the same way that I am struggling with things, that other person is struggling with things too, and they
That's
may not be throwing it in my face all the time. You know, we got to see past that. Definitely,
that's good. That's
that's
good.
love.
Yes, it is. Marcy says, PTL, I don't know what that means. It says,
Praise the Lord, PTL.
"Praise the Lord." Okay, that's what it means. Okay, thank you, Pastor. Praise the Lord, Pastor Keisha. I've never seen that before. Hey, family. Happy Self-Love Saturday. My phone kept acting up. I couldn't find the live chat. Oh, hi, Marcy. Lee says, "Of love." Marcy says, "That shoe thing is aggravating." I understood where you're coming from, Keisha. Me too, but thank God he's still alive. That's right. You got to look at it from the right perspective. Like Miss Hall, she has no more shoes to move.
Mhm.
And I wasn't at the point where I was ready to lose those shoes. So guess what? You walk in my house now, ask my sister, there be shoes all over there. I mean, I don't even be paying attention no more.
I
The
can
shoes
keep it
be like
real. Me and my wife just had a spat the other day about that. Uh,
about the shoes.
Not the shoes per se, but I like things a certain way. Like it's embedded in me. Um, so the other day was something, and we were talking about it, and I was just like, I just instead of me being OCD about everywhere in the house, now I'm OCD about certain places in the house. I'm OCD about this place in the basement where I'm working. If I put
Untouchable
something here,
spaces. I got those too. I got untouchable space. Like
yeah,
this room, nobody comes in this room. It's
yeah,
untouchable. It's not
exactly.
safe.
Right. The formal living room, just the same. My
Right.
expectation is you don't go in that room, you don't mess it up, you don't put your shoes in there, period, point blank. Now, I might go to the kitchen table and it might be a mess. I mean, and I still say something like, can we straighten this up or Trey, put your stuff up or whatever, but I don't let myself get into a space of where it just becomes an argument. It's just not worth it. Like I had to figure it out. And we actually had a conversation about it because she was just like, I see your growth. I see what you were saying. Like picking and choosing your battle. Everything is not something that needs to be made into a mountain. That's where we are. Like it's just not worth putting our energy into that at that time.
Yeah.
So
And your friendship helps you work that out. So I like that friendship is the base because it helps you work that out.
mm,
Um Diamond's joining us from Virginia. Hi, Diamond. Marcy said, "Yes, praise the Lord." LOL. Thank you, Pastor. Nicole has a question. Our Nicole.
not to get nothing started.
She said, "How about if those small things like the shoes and everything feel like microaggressions? Like, for example, if everybody knows that, the living room is off, but you see a cup in there just because, like, how about if it feels like a microaggression in your home?"
I still feel like we gotta pick and choose. Like if somebody puts something in a space where it's not supposed to be in that untouchable area, I still got to choose. Am I gonna? I told you that you can't go in this space. Is it worth it, or let me just put this up and keep it moving? I mean, and for me, this is me. I'm gonna say something. I know I am, but I've grown because I'm not gonna say it in that moment. I'm gonna wait till I cool down, and I'm gonna come back to it, and I'm gonna say it in a nicer way. It still might not be as nice as Lakisha, but it's gonna be nice in comparison to the old me.
Right.
Growth.
And oh no, you froze.
I think it's
Yeah,
perspective and the way we perceive things. He or she,
you
I'm sorry.
froze. Wait, talk.
Hmm?
You going in and out. Talk, say something.
What about now?
Yes, perfect. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, it's all about perspective and perception. Sam wasn't leaving those shoes there, intentionally to spite you.
Right.
Nicole's husband is not leaving things or doing whatever to intentionally spite her. It's just not priority on his list. At some point, maybe it will become a priority because he loves you that much.
Mhm.
But it's not to do. It's not a way to deceive the other. I think that's what we have to realize. When I make a mistake, I don't want my wife to think that my mistake was a way to get at her. It wasn't that at all. It
And
was
I
my.
think the communication too. Like when I feel like my husband's doing something intentionally to me, I actually use I statements. I don't go like you. I say, well,
I feel.
even right, even though you keep leaving I keep telling you stop leaving the shoes, right? And you still leaving the shoes. So you making me feel like you don't care about what I'm saying. Now I know you're not trying to be egregious, but this is how I'm feeling like you doing this out of spite. So
And start with the eyes
start
before
with
you
the
go.
I, not the you.
Like, I feel a little upset or I feel a little touched because of such and such and such. And
I
I
feel touched.
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go there, so I'm trying to, start with an eye. Put it on yourself first. Pin it on yourself first, and the other person might not be so defensive. That's what I've learned. I notice my wife doing it, and sometimes I'll be thinking, "You're not outsmarting me. I know what you're doing." But it does make me feel better when
Yeah.
when I see her putting forth that effort.
Use the I statements. So I
Mhm.
statements are very powerful, everybody. I statements, not you. To
Mhm.
say I. You,
Yeah.
this is how I feel. I feel like this when you. That makes the
Mhm.
conversation easier. So Marva is interesting. Marva has been married for 39 years, Pastor, and
I need to be taking lessons from her.
well, you gotta see what else she said. She said
Oh,
after 39 years, her tolerance level and patience is at 0. So
oh.
what do you say to people who have been married a long time and it's like a awful routine? It's like Groundhog Day.
I feel like you got to go back to that first love. Like, what was it that made you fall in love initially? Where's that foundation? And go back to the eyes. Like, think about you. Like, what was it that made you head over heels? Like, what is it about that person that really made you fall in love? So you can fall in love again, so that your patience and tolerance can grow. I think that's big. I mean, we go through things in our lives where careers start to take off, we get children, you know, um, our priorities just change. And with all of those variables that are changing in our life, we still want our marriage to be number one. We want our marriage to be intact. So we have to learn how to love past those flaws, like we've said. We have to learn how to figure out, is it something that I'm doing? Have I grown in a way that has changed? That have I changed since I was 19, 20, 25 when we started talking? And if so, how can I go back to that person? How can I fall back in love with that person? Because that person probably hasn't changed, not that much. So it's about digging and trying to seek what it was that initially made me fall for that person.
Yeah.
That's what.
And I know I remember my husband saying that to me. He was like, I'm still the same person, Keisha. And when he said that, I was like, because I just felt like he changed so much.
Mhm.
And it was my perceptive and my expectations of him. And he's like, I'm still the same person. And I was like, that hit me. That hit me when he said that. I
So
had to be reminded.
that's kind of confirmation. This question, what you just said, I was thinking about this interview and praying about, like, what am I going to say? Because I'm no guru or anything, and don't be a fly on the wall in my house. But that's exactly what came to me. Like, we, my wife and I, have changed a lot since we got together. A lot has changed. Money has gone up and down and up and up and down, down again. We've
Yep.
we have houses and cars and children and careers. Like, it's churches. We've changed businesses. So many things have changed, but deep down inside, when you erase all that other stuff, I'm the same TJ that she met years and years ago. You know, some baggage may be different. The way I internalize things may be different, but down to the core and the root of it, I'm still that same person. She's still that same innocent person. So I think sometimes we have to learn how to retreat and we have to learn how to go back to that original love, which is why it's so important that we have that friendship and that love. That's our foundation because if we don't, when things go awry, it's going to be a mess for
To
us.
go left.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, so we're almost out of time, but you have so many things in the chat. I'm just gonna read through them. Marcy said, "Nah, doc. I too like things a certain way, and I have to teach my husband, kids, and grands."
I
LOL.
get it.
Trika said, "I've got to watch the replay. I got to get to work, and the client's looking at me sideways." She's a hairdresser. Okay, Trika,
Oh,
that's my good friend. And then Marcy said, "This is good!" Exclamation mark. My husband is a pastor, and I love him to life. We balance one another. We still date. We just celebrated 25 years. Congratulations in December, and we're still in love. Are we perfect? No. Right. It's work.
amen.
Marva's the same one that asked about the 39 years. She said, what he did to get me, he's not doing to keep me. And then Marcy said, we both said I do, so therefore it takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make a thing
Hey,
go.
go back, go back. You said the one that 39
Marva
said that he's not doing the same thing.
said, what he did to
Um,
get me, he's not doing to keep
yeah,
me.
I think we fall into that. I've fallen into that. And if she's a praying woman, pray for him. Lead by
Yes.
example with him. That's real. That's real, real. I know in my relationship, when my wife and I became friends, we were in college, and she thought I was because I was in college. She thought I was gonna be cooking and doing all this other stuff because I did it back then. I knew how to braid hair, so I made a couple
You
dollars.
had a great hair.
I know how to do all. My mother and my sister are hairdressers, so I know how to braid,
Oh, I never knew
trim.
that. Okay.
It was cute back in college, made me a couple dollars, but when I got
Made
in the
you
real world, I was like, go to the hairdresser.
right.
You know, so those same things that pulled her in probably I'm not doing anymore. So I get it. But our relationship was built more than just that. You know what I mean? I'm not doing the things that I was doing because I've grown. So I'm sure he's not. So it's important that she and he, go back to their true love. But pray for him. I mean, some of the things that he wasn't doing, maybe he will do if he has a change of heart. So really pray for him. And a praying wife is real.
Or praying
Praying
white.
wife is real. Like
That
my
book
wife,
changed lives when that book came out, including mine.
my wife pray. Like she prayed for healing for me. She prayed for deliverance for me. She prayed. Like, and I've seen it. And
Yeah,
again, I've not arrived, but I'm out here doing this interview. She's somewhere probably praying. It's real.
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. That is so true. And like, I feel like that too. And I'm just an honest communicator with my husband. And I think because I can be, because he does listen. And I will say, I feel like we're growing apart. I feel like we're different. I feel like you're not doing what you normally do. I feel like I'm changing because we are changing. Like 39 years of marriage, good God, you probably changed 4 times within the
Mm-hmm.
marriage. And you got to relearn it. I'm learning. My husband
Evolve.
Right. My husband and I've been married 24 years. I still don't know. I still I'm like, you like that? Like, I'm still shocked because he is an evolving human, just like I am. And so just trying to first of all, keep myself together. Like a lot of times we always point the finger, but this one is what they say, the thumb pointing back at you.
The others are pointing back at you. Yeah.
Like you may think he's not doing stuff, but you probably not doing stuff either. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, how do you reset? Like, I believe in the reset. Like, do something together that is like jump out of a airplane, go to a restaurant you two never been to before together. Like, incorporate a little adventure when you've been together so long
Mm-hmm.
to see if that person that's deep inside comes out, because
And
it may come
the thing I'm hearing right now is doing something new to still get that same emotion, that same feeling that you had a long time ago. Because yeah, we're decades away from the beginning. We've evolved in so many different TJs or Lakishas or whoever since that original time that we got together. So with that said, you want that initial emotion, you want that emotion that brought you into relationship, but how can you get it in a different way? You know, like I think about church. We're no
Yeah,
longer in the 1970s, the 1980s, or the 1990s. So we
it's
do church
different.
different, but we still serve the same God.
Come on.
He's not changed. So it's the same thing with our love. Like our love is still there. It's still a candle that's flickering within us. But how can we feed it differently?
Come on. That's some good stuff right there. Marcy, Tori said, pray for him in the moment so that he sees you're trying to strengthen the marriage. Woo, come on, Tori. Tori, you better go, Tori. She said, lay hands on him right there and start speaking right there. He ain't gonna be able to go anywhere when you do that. Marcy said that praying advice is great. As a praying woman, you'll have to go in spiritual warfare for that
Mhm.
specific thing, like Priscilla did in the War Room. Woo, I love that movie.
Bring it.
That's another movie.
Yes, it is.
Who's that? Erica. Erica watched the War Room with your husband. That's
Good.
another great one.
Look, I got them all on my bookshelf over there.
You do? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Marcy said the devil is a liar. She's like they did in the War Room. That's what the enemy wants to do, is destroy the covenant of marriages. That's right. So this was so awesome. We are out of time, but Dr. Johnson, and I don't know why I keep wanting to say Dr. Johnson, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Dr. Johnson.
You and Keisha better go ahead. I mean, you and Nicole better go ahead somewhere.
Can you tell us how to get in contact with you with your business? If we want,
Sure.
if after listening to you, we want to get in contact with you and further talk to you about our relationships, how can we get in contact with you?
Sure. My email address is the Ministry for You LLC. The Ministry for You LLC. Actually, at gmail.com. Okay, that's my Gmail. The Ministry for You LLC at gmail.com. My website is just the Ministry for You. The Ministry, www.theministryforyou.com. You can feel free to call me. I don't know if you're typing in the chat.
I am. I'm typing your information in the chat now.
240-475-9560. And just make reference to this so I know who I'm talking to. And
Okay, y'all got that information. I put all that good information in the chat, and then somebody wanted to know the movies. We said Fireproof
War Room.
and War Room. These are
And
powerful movies, y'all. I'm telling you, y'all gotta watch them.
I definitely am an advocate for the love languages. Know
Yes,
your
now I teach that on my channel. I've done a whole series on love
yeah.
languages, and I'm gonna do it again too.
And the newest thing I'm doing is called Enneagrams.
I do that too.
You need to teach me. Because I need to.
I do the Enneagrams, I do the 16 personalities, and I do the love languages. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to incorporate into my sessions now. So I'm
We
trying
need to talk because I wanted to get certified in the Enneagram. So
okay.
Certified.
My fraternity brothers wrote a book on it, and it's en route to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it on Amazon? I'd love to get it.
It is on Amazon, but you might be able to get it more directly via Facebook. We'll talk.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Oh my gosh,
Sure.
this is amazing. Happy Valentine's Day to you and your wife. I know
Thank
you can't disclose what you're doing for Valentine's Day, but I know it's gonna be good.
To God be the glory. Pray for me.
All right. So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank
See
you.
you later. Woo! Oh my gosh, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in there. We went a little over time, but it was such a great conversation. So if you need Pastor Johnson to talk to you, he has put his number in the chat. He's also put his email and I can't even talk, and his website. I'm going to take those things and put them in the description too. So if you're watching the replay, you can also get the information. But I just want to say to everybody, happy Valentine's Day. To my friends, happy Galentine's Day. To my tribe, happy Tribatine's Day. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. I appreciate you. And you know what I'm about to say. Today is Self Love Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. Do something for you. Go buy. It's a lot of flowers out in the stores right now. Because the Valentine's Day. Go buy yourself some flowers and make yourself just happy, just happy. And then until next time, next week we're going to be talking about time management. I'm going to pick up those tips that I started with last week, so we'll pick up time management next week. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye, friends.